Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. And in this video, we're going to install Garuda Linux, a Arch-based distribution out of India. Let me minimize this. I've got it set up in my virtual box here. I give it 10 gigabytes of RAM, 2 cores of my processor. I've enabled EFI, and I give it 108.5 gigabytes of virtual hard disk. Let's get started here. They say they don't recommend you installing in a virtual box, and that's why I gave it so much RAM and so much hard drive space. So we're booted up to it, and our first option will be to change one of these settings here. If it doesn't match yours, it is matching mine, and language is US, key table is US. So I'm good. I'm going to select boot Garuda x86 64 XFCE. The logo is really sharp. I'm waiting on that. That's the Golden Eagle. The Golden Eagle, if you know anything about them, they're just awesome. We have them here in the United States, in the Midwest mostly at this point, but they are here. If you watch YouTube videos on them, you've actually seen them pull goats off of mountains. They're an awesome bird. Good choice of logos, if you ask me. Of course, the eagle just represents something majestic. So this is going to take quite a bit to load here. I almost want to pause the video or I'll cut this part out. We'll go ahead and get it full screen just to see if we got the guest editions installed. If we do, that's a little strange because they recommend you don't install it in a virtual box. But that would be an awesome addition. I've been looking through it. They offer quite a bit. They have a lot of desktops, and they said they only added one. There's my mouse. It was way over here, so that indicates VirtualBox Guest Edition. Utils. What about that? Don't install it in a VirtualBox, but if you do, here's our virtual drivers, which is awesome. So this is the Garuda welcome screen, and we got a bunch of tools, information about it. We got tabs up here. This is all under the general tab. We got tools, maintenance, ButterFS or BTRFS, or I heard somebody say Better Tree FS, so whatever you want to call it. So this is a pretty nice welcome. You got a lot of tools right here that you can go through and set up as soon as you get installed. But the installer is not here. Is it on in the Plank Fix dashboard? I'm not seeing anything. That looks like terminal and file, browser, internet. Looks like Firefox. Let's see. You would have expected it to be right here. Huh. All right, let's see. Okay, so we got the whisker menu. So let me type in install. See what happens. Install Garuda Linux. So it's not on the desktop, but you'll find it in the menu, and that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. We'll be coming back to that, I'm sure. All right, so it's correctly selected American English. I'm going to say next. This is the Calamares installer, by the way, for Garuda Linux. It's a rolling release. We'll say next. Selected America. That's correct zone. Let's go find Chicago for the central time zone. There's a lot of transparency in here. It was hard to see that for me. All right, so next. Keyboard American English US default. That looks good. Let's go next. We're going to do manual partitioning. Although let's look and see what they will do. Okay, so we're going to get a 300 megabyte EFI, and that's it. We're going to get an EFI partition and all the rest of it. So we're going to say manual partitioning. Say next. We're going to need a new partition table right here. We're going to use the GUID. Left click on the free space. Come down here to edit. Left click on, create. And this first one, they only gave it 300, but we're going to give it, well, maybe we'll give it 512, which is generous, but file system. Now this will be the EFI boot, so we're going to need FAT32 or a virtual FAT32 if it's available. Mount point will be boot EFI. There's so much transparency, I'm having a hard time seeing this. So let's see, we got a boot flag, root, boot. Alright, should say okay. Now, alright, create. We'll give it 4096. That's going to be for our swap. Linux swap space. And there is a flag right there. Select that and say OK. Left click on the free space. Go to create. Let's give this. Let's see what that does. Let's see. Now you don't have to go with Btrfs. That's just what they've got highlighted by default. And we're going to leave it that way. Mount point for here will be root, which is indicated by slash. And there's the root flag. Select that. Click OK. Select the free space. Select create. We're going to leave all that up there alone. Mount point will be slash home. There it is. And there's not going to be a flag for that. So we're going to say OK. Now we can check. We got 4 partitions. We got a FAT32. Boot EFI. We got a swap partition. And we have a root and a home. So everything looks good here. We'll say next. Full name. Just give it my first name. That's all we need. Get a password. Alright. It didn't warn me that that was short, so that's cool. Log in automatically without asking for a password. Use the same password for the administrator or root account. Select next. And this is the summary of what we just selected. I'll say install. Garuda installer is about to make changes to your disk. In order to install Garuda rolling, you will not be able to undo these changes. We'll select install now, and we're on the way. Yeah, I like that. It went to blue. That's I like blue. Let me get out of full screen. Go back to the web browser and their home page. This is GarudaLinux.org. You can see they welcome to Garuda Linux, and they offer KDE, GNOME, XFCE, Cinnamon, Mate, LXQT, -Quinn, Deepin, Wayfire, BSP Window Manager, and i3 Window Manager. If you don't speak English here, you can change that for this web page. Why I use Garuda Linux? Because it's always free, it's rolling, you're going to be up to date. Easy installation. Calamares installer, never been easier. Automatic driver installer, so if you have NVIDIA and you need some non-free, you can still get those. Ease of use. GUI for managing drivers and the kernel. GUI for snapshot management. GUI for package management. GUI tools, various common tasks. GUI tools for network assistance. And beautiful looking. And you got to admit that is a nice looking desktop. Highly customized. They're offering the Linux Zen kernel, so when we get installed, we'll see. Our goal is to provide focus on performance. And here's some performance things that they've done. Out of RAM memory or out of memory prevention daemon. The zram, that basically works in compliance with that, I believe. I'll have descriptions of it right up here somewhere. Built on Btrfs. Btrfs. Automatic snapshots can be set up. Alright. Go to your download page to get your download. Comes in, this is their minimum recommendations. Ultimate editions, minimum 6 gigabytes RAM, 40 gigabytes of storage space. Linux Lite or minimum, need less, 3 gigabytes and 20 gigabytes. If we were asked for a password, it would be username Garuda, password Garuda. Alright, so here you got all your different options on your desktops that you can download, either the Lite edition or the full edition, Ultimate. So here we had Plasma, Linux GNOME, Garuda Cinnamon, Garuda Mate, Garuda XFCE, which is the one I went for, this Ultimate edition here. Garuda LXQT -Quinn, Garuda Wayfire, which I hadn't heard of this one yet. I'm going to have to install it probably just see what it does. Garuda BSP Window Manager and i3 Window Manager. Garuda Deepin and Linux UKI. Ubuntu Kylin User Interface. Fork of Mate. Garuda Linux Recbox. It's an open box config, which sounds like interesting as well. Garuda Linux Bare Bones. So this is like just not getting any programs. And that's showing a KDE desktop. So I don't know if it's KDE or you're still your choice. Back to the top here. And then their forums. Click on forum. And here you get all kind of information. If you see something that you want to question, you just click on it. Goes back to their home page here. All right, so then about here we learn about the developers. We got LibreWish or Srinivas Kumbar, a full-time student interested in the study of technology from Kolhapur, Maharashtra, India. SGS hails from Essen, Germany. TBG, I mean, these are the developers that are responsible for it and what they do. That's awesome. And support in the wiki. Click on the wiki. And we got here system requirements, installation instructions, live login details, removing bloatware, installation instructions. So we'll go through that. So installation instructions, there wasn't really a whole lot there. On DistroWatch, it shows that they're 45 in popularity, so they're moving up. And you got to admit, it's an easy Arch installation. Using the Calamares, 25% through. Let's see, I forget how big the ISO was. Seemed like it was pretty good size. Garuda. 4.8 gigabytes. So there's a lot of stuff coming in off of that ISO right now. Back to their web page. And they do have a first things to do list. Here we go. Things to do after the installation. So initial setup after the install, we're going to set our mirror list. Here is, you can do it by the command line by just copying and pasting that or typing it in. Personally, when I run a reflector, I'll have it more customized to what I need. And this is also Pacman update command. So using the and or ampersand here as well. Cat Etsy Pacman. Updating the system, which gets done right here. Setting your personal terminal theme. That's pretty nice. Downloading language packs if you need them. Getting the printing and scanning support that you need. So there's a lot of documentation here. If you take your time and you're having a problem, it won't take long right here on this forum to either post your question or find out. This one says interest about issues and assistance. Need help with something. This guy, hey, I really want to use this OS, but I am encountering a problem. I created a bootable USB drive, Garuda Deepin Live Lite, using Rufus, and had a problem. And he's telling about it. So you see how easy it is to get posted on here and to get an answer. All right, so they answered him. That's right off the bat. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of information here. So yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to update our mirror list. We're going to update the system. Then we'll probably do the customizing the terminal. We won't need any language packs, but if you do, it's there. And I'm sure also there's going to be something in the welcome screen that's going to guide us this way. Let me minimize this, see where we're at. Go back to full screen. Instead of going to pause, let's go up through the menu. Now keep in mind this is the live environment, so the menu may change as far as the exact programs that are in here. Make that where I can read it a little better. Up here in the top, we got the user switch to turn on and off. Cancel out of that, thanks. Volume icon, your battery icon, your clip it. What is this? Devices. That's pretty nice. Click on that and it tells you what devices you got attached to your machine. Okay. That's the installer. It looks like an updater. It is. Okay, that's our Wi-Fi. I'm not sure what that is. I can't get a reading off of it. It's all right though. Let's go back up here to the menu. We'll go down here to accessories. Anti-Micro X. We'll look for a description right here. App image launcher settings. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Anti-Micro X. That's doing with your gamepad. Like I said before, this is, or like we read, it's set up for gamers. So you should have a lot of stuff in here for gamers. Control your computer with the ease of application profiles. Again, look for descriptions in the text here, titles. Dock bar X preferences. Dock X firmware, install firmware on devices. Calculator. Gesture manage X. GUI. You can't pronounce that. GUI scripty. Android mirroring system. Huh. So that's for your telephone, I guess. HP device manager. So we got printer support by default. Menu editor. That's going to be Menu Libre, I'm sure. Mousepad, Nextcloud. So you already got the account. You just need to set up your account or sign into your account more than likely. Notes. That's exactly what it is. Notes. All right, go back to accessories. Go down to notes. Mousepad, onboard. That's a keyboard. Onboard settings, garage, global time, nice. Hyper, configurable mouse configuration utility, Redshift by default, sensor view, software token, task manager, Thunar, USB image writer, and a formatter. So that's a copy of Mint Stick, I believe. I think it is. I can't prove it right now, but I bet that is. Warpinator. Wine Tricks, X Archiver, XF Burn, display GPS information from a GPSD daemon, XGPS Speed, development. Right now we have GUI Scrippy, open source screen mirroring system, an icon browser, and Meld for comparing and merging your files. You can have one file here and compare the differences. Under education, we got LibreOffice Math, which indicates that we have the full suite. Under games, we got a ton of games, including my favorite. Alright, so Chess, DOSBox, Game Hub, G Overlay, Itch, Lutris, Mahjong, or Mahjong, Mario, Mind Test, Retro Arch, front-end emulators, game engines, and media players. Steam, native and runtime. T-World is a fast-paced multiplayer 2D shooter game. Under graphics, we've got Blender, Color Picker, Conversine, Batch Image Converter. I'm assuming that means if you had a bunch of JPGs and you need to convert them to PNGs, this would do a bunch at one time. Document scanner, so we got printer and scanner support. We got GIMP, the GNU image manipulation program, much like Paint or Adobe Photoshop. Go Overlay, we saw that. Inkscape, LibreOffice Draw, Peak, record short animated GIF images from your screen. That's pretty slick. And a Ristretto image viewer. Under Internet, wow. Yeah, I see why they had a section on removing bloat, because a lot of this would get removed, I would think, for I don't think most people would need it, most of this stuff. Deluge, that's for BitTorrent, Discord, Firefox, Fractal, a modem manager. Not sure about that one. I've wondered about modem managers, considering I hadn't seen a modem in 22 years or more. Cremu, or QOMUI, user interface, I guess. Remote viewer, Steam, Streamlink Twitch, Sensing GTK, Telegram, Thunderbird, and Extreme Download Manager. Under multimedia, it's going to be installed before we get through the menu. Audacity, EasyTag, GUVC View, MPV Player, Peak, Pit IV, Praga, Pulse Audio, QTV Test Utilities, SM Player, SM Tube, Sound Converter, Stream Link, Twitch, Transmageddon, Video Transcorder. I've never got that to work. Anyway, XF Burn. Under Office, we do have the full LibreOffice and a PDF viewer. Joplin, a note-taking application. Other, we got the scanner, settings, and system. Under system, we got Alacrity, add remove software, that's our package manager, our GUI package manager, BleachBit, a tool to clean your system, bulk rename, Conky, core CTL or core control, fan control, GUI, look at there, you can control your fan with the right motherboard, I'm sure. Firewall comes by default, Garuda boot options, Garuda boot repair, Garuda Cheroot and graphical user interface. Wow, we're all done here. We're almost finished with the menu. Let's go ahead and finish it. Garuda Network Assistant, Garuda Welcome, G-Parted, G-Smart Control. That's for monitoring your hard drive, I do believe. Hardware Locality Isotopo, H-Top by default. Install, that'll disappear. Install Garuda Linux, login window, manage printing, modem manager again, open RGB, Sony PlayStation 2 emulator, wow, print settings, Q4 wine, reboot to UEFI, maybe that'll disappear. Reflector, simple reflector, that's how that first steps what they told us to update our mirrors, the first thing. RetroArch, emulator, Sambo server configuration, sensor views, system ADM, click on that, see if it'll open. It did. RetroArch, system ADM, task manager, Thunar manager, Timeshift, virtual machine manager, Wi-Fi hotspot, XFCE terminal, XF dashboard. So that's their menu. And here's their system manager. Now this is an awesome tool. I discovered this not long ago. And there's a ton of stuff that you can do in here at Control. If you having any problem with System D, but you still need to run System D, this allows you to turn on and off services, allows you to do all kinds of things. Reload configuration, take a snapshot, configure it here. Doesn't have a configure, but it's a pretty nice thing here. Software. We close that and say done. We'll just shut down by using the little button up here and say restart. Let's see how long it takes to restart. I'd have to speed elapsed time this one. That was fast. Garuda Linux. Got advanced options, shut down, restart, firmware setup. Did all that in 5 seconds. I was wondering if that eagle was a, what do you call it, origami? Pretty nice. Rather nice. Okay. Mouse. Where's my mouse? Give me my mouse. There's a mouse. We should have to log in. I'm pretty sure this is going to be Lite DM. Yep, we do. Let's see if we got any options here. Keyboard, nothing. US, that's right. Time and power off. Okay, no gear cogs. Username. You could sign in as a guest. Okay, so we're up at the real desktop. Now, where's that welcome thing? Welcome screen. There we go. Bitwarden, Garuda Meet, Woogle. Where is that mirror? Tool. Settings, option, software, maintenance, reinstall, refresh mirrors. That's not what it said though. We'll do this anyway. United States, maximum hour. Let's go 5. 10's enough. Say okay. Give that a second to run in the background. Got a nice conky over here with OS listed, the kernel, and we do have the Zen kernel. User, Dennis, we've been up 2 minutes and 11 seconds. CPU, okay, saved to etc pacman.d/mirror list. It's going to require root password. So the conky over here has got a lot of good information on it. It says we've used 15.6 gigabytes, 23%. Wow, that's pretty good size. That's a lot of stuff. CPU, memory is pretty low on memory. Upgrade the system. That should be the same as running Pacman SYYU or SYU. So we've updated the mirrors. Now we're updating the system, and we do have quite a bit of updates. Last release was a month ago, little over a couple weeks and a month and a couple weeks, 6 weeks ago. Yeah, I guess there could be some updates, especially with this kind of this much software installed by default. See if we can see anything that disappeared. My setting did. Let me change it. Please. So, workspace switcher. I want there. There we go. Properties, show as a list. Background opacity, nothing. Let's change that to the Garuda Linux. And tell it to show the icon and the title. There we go. Now, I wonder what kind of icons it makes available while that's updating. Let's find out. Wow, nice. Oh, it's going to give us a preview. Connect to Nextcloud. No thanks. Purple. Well, that's slick. Yellow. White. Didn't I just see blue? No blue? Come on, no blue? There's blue. Let's keep it at blue. Say okay. There we go. Now we got that set up right. Find the items to keep in our recently used commands. We can change these. Search actions. Here you could add stuff. Appearance. Say close. Now let's go back up to the menu. Under accessories. Well, I'm only going to stop if I see something that I recognize as being new or gone. With Envy, I don't remember that. Provides information, controls the fans, and overclocks your NVIDIA card. Video card. Nice. They're right. This is set up for a gamer, I'm pretty sure. So look for descriptions in the titles for these programs. Some of them you may or may not be familiar with. I know I'm not familiar with quite a few. Multiplayer shooter game. Mario, that's what I click on just to see it open up. Nice. That looks like Mario, just is what I remember anyway. Close out of that. Let's go to the settings panel. About me. That means we got Mugshot installed. Okay, under appearance, let's see what kind of customized. Definitely got a few choices anyway. Icons are using a telecircle dark with some other options. Fonts, no those sans regular. Okay then. Settings, enable event sounds is there by default. Nice. That's awesome. Heard the sound. App image launcher settings. You should be able to just download an app image, right click on it, make it executable, and use this to launch the program that you're talking about. And I believe this will put it in your start menu. So that's why you want to run it through the app launcher first. I believe that's correct. Clipboard manager, desktop. See, that shows us some different. I like that one. That's their Golden Eagle. That one's pretty nice by itself too. Menus, here you can change your right click menu here. Oh wow. Yeah, okay, cool. We got the entire menu available to us right here. Include applications menu on desktop, right click. Nice. Icons, here you can show which icons you want on the desktop. Where are they? I don't see them. Huh. Oh well. Okay. Workspaces. Defaulted to 4. I'm gonna just go ahead and take it down to 1. Why not? Okay, XFCE terminal. Appearance, source code regular. I'm good with that. Transparency, turn that off where it's opaque. Let's see. I see here's a terminal, but will Control-Alt-T bring me a terminal? It did. It brought me that drop-down terminal. Well, Control-D, maybe that'll escape it. Open up that terminal. And we've already got some customization going on here. Now, although we didn't get to that part yet, we're still doing the update. For the kernel, we got the Linux Zen 5.9.1 Zen 2 kernel, which was updated or created at Sunday, 18th of October, so not too long ago, a little over a month. Okay, so wait a minute, do that again. Place that in with a H. See what we get here. Memory, I give it 9.7 gigs, 10 gigs. It's using 1.4 gigs right now. No swap. Okay, nice. Look up HTOP. HTOP says we're using 1.5 gigs, which is what we said a while ago. We're using our processors up pretty good. Alright, so take care of that. Weeks, target, corrupt, invalid, or correct packages, PBG. Do you want to delete it? Highlighted is yes, so I'm going to say okay. Now, it just said it updated. Let's find out. Sudo pacman -SYYU to make it do it anyway. Give it my root password. It says it didn't update all that. Proceed with the installation? Sure. I guess I should have selected no, even though yes was set by default. If I get that same answer, I will do the same. I'll select in or no. Do not replace that. Alright, so this time I'm going to say no. Do I want to delete it? No. Errors occurred, no packages upgraded. Well, why not? You go through that whole thing again. Checking the keys in the key ring, the package integrity. It's already downloaded them. It's just trying to install them. YouTube download, DL. That's not working anymore. Hope that ain't what the problem is. Fresh mirrors, clear the cache, remove orphans, edit repositories, clean the PKG cache, remove database lock. It's corrupted. Do I want to replace it? Sure. And now it's going to say nothing. So let's say sudo pacman -s and you go arch linux -t bring. See what that brings us. This might solve it. I hope so. Butterfs Scrub, balance, defragment. Huh. Alright, so now let's run back then. SYYU again. Say yes. And again, it's already downloaded them. Just trying to install them or upgrade them. This might be a ButterFS and a VirtualBox thing. It does say that it's not recommended to install in a VirtualBox. I thought I had the settings panel open. FC terminal, FC display, removable drives. Let's see. Okay. When I hot plug one in, I want it to show it to me. Send ballot again. Do I want to get rid of it? Answer highlighted yes. No packages were upgraded. So there's a problem. Probably a VirtualBox thing. Can't swear to that. Garuda settings manager. Language packs, locale settings, the kernel, time and date, user account. Not much in there. Notifications, login windows, software update, Bluetooth adapters. That's pretty much got this video. We went through the start menu under quick access here. We got camera, audio. If you needed quick access to any of this stuff, it's right there. Control, volume control, microphone control, extended power, settings, Samba support, printing support, cup services, Asian fonts. Not sure about that one. Guest user support, we could turn that off if you don't want to have. At the beginning when we logged in, it said you could log in as a guest. Here, we could untick that and we won't see that again, I do not believe. Enable add guard for DNS. I'm going to close out of this, go back to the general, make sure. So we wasn't able to update, and I'm not sure why. I could stumble around and try to find some things, but y'all got better things to do than watch me stumble around. Let's see. Was GPart still left? It sure was. What kind of software updater do they use? Let's see. Software token software update. Let's see if this is Mac. I believe it is Mac. Updates. Let's see what it says here. Let's go and say refresh the database. It's going to ask us for a password. And Garuda Linux has the system sounds working right out of the box. That's a plus for me. From me. What do we have here? Add remove program that's running. We got settings panel. See if PalMac can update. Settings panel. What is this? Qubit torrent. I don't know what that is. Calculator? Yeah, calculator. Clock. So what happened to the little mouse pad? The thing that tells you what it is. It was showing up. Trash is empty. Minimize all windows. There it is. Add remove programs. Settings. And now they disappear. What is that? Thunar? Yep. I don't know what happened. I clicked on here instead of clicking on the Thunar. Yeah, those are pretty nice icons. I'm sure we can change them. If you didn't like them, and they did have some listed. All right, let's see. Anything else that they think failed to commit transaction? So there's definitely a problem. Let's see. PF human readable, SDA3, which would be our root drive. We got 18 gigs installed, 37 available. That's pretty good size. If you don't have a large disk, or if you don't know it, you need to go ahead and set up a pretty good size root drive so that you'll have room, because this is pretty big. 18 gigs, that's on up there. That's why it gives you, there's an option in here where it said uninstall stuff. Let's see. Thought it was easily right up at the top. That's the area. Add remove software. That's going to be PAWMAC. That's why they put that in the menu, I guess, because there's going to be a lot of this stuff that's not going to, you're not going to need it running. And up here, nothing changed. Status enabled. Oh, that's Redshift. So it's already started by default. Nextcloud's running. See, that would be the first thing I got rid of, but I don't use Nextcloud, but you might. So let me get out of full screen here. And this is Garuda Linux. The installation went flawlessly. From what I can see, it's definitely based on Arch. And if I was a gamer, I think I'd try this one right here out just to see, make sure it worked for you. Who knows? It could do it. All right, well, I appreciate you watching, and I thank you for your time. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.